Ah, there we are. Can you see me now? I am here. It is 6:30 in the morning. But that's what you gotta do. So this is just gonna be a lot of casual, quite frankly. Me working on like rotations and like just trying like shit, honestly, and open. Because quite frankly, I'm gonna be in like the insane MMR for casual on the like 1s, 2s, and 3s, because your MMR is fully linked on all of those. So it's not like I'm like gonna be like super affected on the MMR side. I can just easily win that MMR back. Alrighty. Also want to try working on like wall shots and stuff too. Stuff like that, or like falling on the ball. Which, it ain't easy. Especially when you got like 3 other people, or 5 other people trying to get the fucking ball. One thing I also really need to work on is like my falling flips and shit. Or like the flips and shit, like where I'm above the ball. Because quite frankly, I just flip by instinct on those, and I need to be boosting downward before I do that shit. Fuck. Oh, blah, blah, blah. We'll go ahead and jump into the heat seeker queue while we're waiting. Fuck, an estimated 6 minutes on the queue? Whoops. Let me go fucking, not waste a shitload of time. Holy moly. Let me add new region. Let me add just Europe. Yeah, just Europe, it should be fine. Yeah, that's way down. It's only 51 seconds now. Thank God. Not 6 minutes. We're going to London. Sophie, hello, welcome. How you doing? Sure, yeah, I'll hit you up on Discord after the stream. So, how long have you been playing Rocket League? Okay. Jozo, Nika Pika on the yellow. We got Oprah and Galaxy FRX. Then Jozo and Correct Master. Okay, it looked like Correct got another clip on that. Okay, the demo does not matter. I repeat, the demo does not matter. Correct couldn't score off of that. Oh, Nika Pika left, and we got Mick Knight, 29,000 to replace. Damn, Correct got their masses good. You found their fucking numbers. I mean, it also doesn't help that their own fucking people are doing shit like that for their shots. Oh, damn. Woo! Damn. Woo. Oh, brother. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. How the fuck? Oh, damn, I just barely didn't get it. How many were sitting in goal? How many? Was it one or both? It was one. Okay. Well, kind of confused there because I saw red nameplates in goal. You fuck. Damn it. Oh, what the fuck happened there? Yo. Yo. What the fuck? What the fuck's up with that? having a nice friendly game here while y'all are fucking... A wide fucking shot. Damn it. Finally got rid of that thing. A piece of shit. Get out of here with that shit. Alright. That was very close. Damn it. What the fuck, Direct? Because that would have been a fucking goal. Uh-huh. And, of course the fucking enemy wants to fucking just jump right in front of me. Win the first game with a loss. In overtime. Losing 17 MMR. Whew, fuck. Let's see what we can, if we can do anything in the fucking 3-on-3 match. Shouldn't be taking us too much longer to get a match. Oh, shit. Yeah. That's something that, like, only barely fucking works in my fucking lobbies. And all it does is get the fucking ball outfield. It's too slow of a shot to fucking be worth anything. Almost got a flippy. Oh boy. Fuck. So we start with an interesting kickoff. Fuck! I had no fucking boost. I might have been able to touch it with the double jump. But fuck. That's a tough shot on Jeremy. Again, no one goes for the fucking kickoff. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why the fuck are they leaving me to kick off? Yeah, fucking fantastic. God damn. Okay, we got the boost. Come back and... Fuck. There we go. We get a little slider in. Yeah. Ain't much he could do there. Damn it. It's not on target. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Ugh. Huh. Oh my fucking god. He was sitting on the fucking boost. Fuck. Oh fuck. Fact of the matter is, I don't think either of these two are very good at defense. Whether that be active defense or just backboard defense or even just regular fucking defense. Fuck. Should have put some boost into that shit. Fuck. Fuck. He almost had that second one, but he had no boost probably. Oh, nope, it was just a far off shot. Far out, dude. Like, totally legit, bro. And I was about to say, don't let me get too comfortable on the ball. Might regret it. right over the other two. I don't know where that guy was going. I don't know what reason he would have to go for the boost. But yeah. Oh boy. I got fucking juked hard. Like, brother, I fucking just straight up just dove right in for that shit. Damn it, he didn't jump high enough. Oh my. Okay, I guess he just wanted to end that shit. We lost once again, just another 3-2. That's fine. It's a casual match. Damn. Dun, 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 dun. The song's going hard. Bloom by Throttle. Oh, fuck. Oh, that was the orange team, okay. Orange team have AI Armstrong. La Muerta has joined the game in place of Armstrong. Oh boy. Fuck! Cause I thought he was gonna fucking okay, motherfuckers isn't even fucking trying on the fucking defense. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck! God damn. Yeah, no, don't let it follow the natural path that your teammates following. Oh, or not. Alright. God damn it! He fucking got me on a bump. Oh no, I just... Oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck happened and why I backflipped. God damn. You know what? I'm gonna just let those two go up front and shit. Okay. That rubber band. That rubber band is crazy. God damn! Fuck! MDR. No one knows what MDR means. Oh, this is fucking French. Yeah, no. I need you. You fucking different. MDR. As soon as one goal was scored, La Muerta left. Go ahead and miss that. I found it kind of funny that one of them did in fact just leave after that guy scored one goal. Unless he's doing like one of the season challenges that requires the 0 goals for the other team. There's like no point in that shit. And even then you should be playing like it really just does, I guess it does kind of depend on what game mode that you often find has the um, lower skilled players with high MMR. Because I'm not a high skill player, obviously, but I have a 1270 MMR for casual because of Heat Seeker. Like I could never get that MMR that I have there with just casual. I had no idea who the fuck that was. Crash clunk. Boost your pads. Boost. Holy shit, that was such lucky placement. Oh, fuck. Like, oh. Clink. Holy shit. I guess I was going fast enough to catch that shit perfectly. God damn. We'll take it. Yeah, Zappy almost got that shit taken from him. I got there just before that fucking dive landed. Whew. Oh yeah, we got Zappy repeat flips manual. What the fuck? On our team. Yeah, Future, Landon, and Malve Walker. Malve Walk. I got 2 goals, so I can let them fucking play around with it. Yeah, Future is the one who is demoing. God damn! Oof! They are not happy. Fuck! All I get is one touch and I die. Fuck! And that's the game! We won our first game, 2-0. This is this is our first win of the day, I should say. With a 2-0 goal line. We ended up getting second on the scoreboard with both goals. 3 saves from Zappify and an assist. Technically that was the stolen goal, or the one where he almost got his fucking his carry stolen. His catch. Dribble. Flips Manuel. Flips Manuel. Who? Why did Future fucking demo me? Oh, Flips is on the. Yeah, Flips and Landon. Zapify, yeah, Future and Mallboy Rock. Yeah, us and it was I think it was Landon that switched teams. He's just a demo chaser, which is sad, honestly. Damn it! If I just had some more fucking height on the ball. God damn it, Landon! I was trying to get around your ass so I could stop, but... And I wasn't even gonna stop on time, but... God damn it. God damn it, god damn it, god damn it. God damn it. Oh fuck, why did that... I lost a shitload of frames there. I lagged a shitload there. Far off target. You get back there and defend. Or not. Okay. Hopefully, I was about to say hopefully we can convert that. And nope. Just see. Alrighty. Fuck! How the fuck did he? I mean, I already forfeit. I already told. I mean, it wasn't me exactly, but one person already forfeit, and then he stopped going up front and just started, and was just, you know, just hanging around now, more. Yeah, future. One minute, 11 seconds to go, and we get our first goal. Boom! Get your ass out of here! Yeah, they had no one that wasn't already on like active defense, and because I fucking demoed him. And that's game. Oh, sorry, Jennifer Charles. Sorry. Uh, how are you? I'm doing good. What's up with you? Sorry about that. Whoopsies. Oh. Yeah, sorry about that one. Whew. Oofda. Yeah. Looks like we got just a little bit under, just a little bit around 45 minutes until the end of the stream. Oh, sorry. Can type. I'm doing good. There we go. I got that figured out. Yeah. The way that you make me feel like I've never been felt before. When look in your eyes, I found the one I've been waiting for. Yeah. No worries about that. All of it's electric. The way that you make me feel like I've never been felt before. That's awesome. I am Texas USA. Yep. I play on Central servers and the like. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it, yeah. Whoopsies. In chat. I'm not exactly sure, like, what other games I'd be keen on playing, but yeah, I don't stream 24/7. I'm more stream like, well, yeah, of course I don't stream 24/7, but like, not 7 days a week. I'm more like a 5 or 6 days a week. God damn. Yeah, I don't really stream like 7 days a week. Get out of here. Oh, fuck. Oh, wow. I do not stream daily, yeah. We'll go with that. I do just stream some days a week. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put it like that. Oh boy. Yeah, no worries. Oh, I could have gotten a clean demo. Oh, fuck. Yeah, Noodle's a season 10 grand champ. Sure. Yeah, you can always suggest something. I don't mind, yeah. Oh boy. Okay. My bad. Oh boy. Whew. Sorry, it's a little hard to like concentrate and play the game. God damn. So you want channel customization? Is that what you're saying? I know I don't have like all of the the buttons and shit set up, but I do have this for customization. Yeah, where is it? Oh, this one. Oh boy. And that gets redirected in. Yeah, just whisper me. Alrighty, that's game. Yeah, I don't put my own Discord in chat, but yeah, but I don't put my Discord in chat, but alrighty. Let's see what we can do in some twos. Probably gonna lose worse than we already are. But after that, I'll go into some threes. Not threes, but heat seeker. Ooh, and we get scored on. Yep. Just give me 1 second. Ooh, that was a low flick. Oh boy. Yep. Oh no. God damn! No! Chat off, left goes. Alrighty. We get our first goal of the game with 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the left on the clock. And no. Stardust Evolve on our team isn't the best at straight up aerial. Close on shot, close on target. Oh, I hate that shit. There we go. I'm so glad that flip delay worked. Oh, there I go. Stop. Missed the boost. God damn. Oopsies. Alright. Fuck. Oh boy. Where did all my control go? Get it, go! Oh! Alrighty. Alrighty, down into the Haunted Heat Seeker. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if we can get any of our MMR back. Ooh, boy, that could have been bad. Oh, shit. That shit curved hella quick. That was an aggressive fucking turn. Oh, looks like I have to get it past 5 people. Faithful, of course, comes in and takes the goal. But we move along. Just keep swimming, as they say. Ah! Why? Wait. Alright. Now I have to, like, fully move my fucking stick to get a flip. Ah! Ha! I fucking did it again. I flipped when I shouldn't have flipped. Yep. Alrighty. Fuck. I just accidentally bumped him out of the way without even fucking trying because I was trying to turn around. God damn it! I was trying to turn and accidentally bumped his ass. Alright. I'ma just... Whee! What's kind of interesting, and what I think actually does happen, is if you forfeit, and like I kind of noticed this after one of a forfeit match, a match where I forfeited. If you forfeit, you only lose one MMR, whereas if you fucking stay and play it all the way out, you lose a lot more, generally. But then again, I don't know. I also in that game, both of my fucking opponents left the game. Not both my opponents. Both my teammates left the game in the middle of the game. Alrighty. So we only got like 10 minutes left in the stream, but I need a bathroom. Alrighty. Alrighty. Not too much longer now. We'll go ahead and jump back into some more 3-on-3 Heat Seeker. Off into the woods for training we go. Alrighty. Looks like we're getting, we got very active teammates that are doing actually good at making ball contact. Hakan gets our first goal. We get the assist on that. We have Richie as well on our team. Then on the opposing team, Napolitan Neo, Chi-Town Chick, and Gimper owns you. Seems like Napoleon's the bumper. Fuck! Nico Gaming, hello! Welcome in. How you doing? How you doing today, Nico? I'm doing good. Unfortunately, you're coming in towards the, kind of doing the end of the stream. I'm getting off here about 8, here in about 10 minutes. But yeah. Thank you, for stopping by, checking out the stream, seeing what it's looking like. Ooh! We get to save just barely. Yes, okay, teammates. And that's the bumper. Whee! Like I said, that's the bumper. Yeah. There it is. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, that bumper likes to come out of nowhere too. Like that. He's an annoying bugger too. Richie gets our second goal. This is casual right now. I am like Diamond 1 in Rumble, but like high plat 3 and like 2s, 3s. I suck at 1s. Don't at me at 1s. I am utter ass. I'm by myself. Okay. Oh fuck. And fuck. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm like, I am like just below diamond basically. God damn. And fucking 2 people bodied my ass. My teammate and a fucking not teammate. Yoink! Just drove right in front of his. Yeah, with me and a lot of like ranked stuff, I ended up just needing to slow down a little bit more and like actually take my time and with the ball and everything. Fuck. And quite often what I found was in like plat, more often than not, your teammates are always going to be like trying to ball chase, or they're always going to be trying to be the ones on the ball. So I always just end up taking up like a third man role and like just do it willingly. Just play defense because you can get like a high score with defense. I mean, we've all played fucking Heat Seeker. You know what 20 saves looks like on the score chart. Hakan! Yeah, I'm like gold 3 or something like that in one-on-ones. But yeah, gold is actually a very difficult rank, regardless of what people say. And it's not because of the skill. Oh, 3-on-3. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, even just 3-on-3s. Woo! You're always gonna have people that aren't on the same page. Um, um, like, one thing that I've found that happened quite often was me being left, was there being, you know, if I was also, like, chasing the ball, there'd be 3 people chasing the fucking ball, and no one guarding the net. So any, like, stray shot that was even, like, on target, about that, it just went in because no one was there to defend, like, the easy shots. So I just always stuck myself in that last man, be the last person to, in between the ball and the net, and it has made me like very good at like defense and like kind of like predicting where the ball will go. Oof. And oof. Oh shit! I didn't even realize we tied. Go ahead and do it like that. Also, hey Nico, I don't know why, but like, along with like all of the stuff that's going on with like Rocket League, and usually miss the ball. Yeah, I missed the ball. That's a right, and you know everybody misses the ball. It's just a matter of when it happens, not if it happens. Woof. Yeah, I always try to pass for other people, because I never put myself in a decent position to score anywhere in the fucking map. But like what I was saying with like the me always being last man, I just let them to do whatever the fuck they want up front, because they're just gonna be aggressive as shit, and all you gotta do is sit back and keep the ball up front for them, keep boost for yourself, and they're just gonna keep hammering your fucking opponents with shots and shit, and that shit's just draining when you're just getting nailed with shot after shot after shot, especially if they're on target. It makes you really want a break, and for the game to, for the opponent to score. And unless you got a good rotation, you ain't getting out of that. The rotation is what matters a lot. Like, even with this game, I've just been letting these two play up front, and I've just been staying in the goal. And this is a fucking 1200 lobby. You will always find the same types of people in Rocket League in the same lobbies. It's just a matter of time and rank. I literally just let those two do all the work. Both of them have the goals, yet I was right in the middle of the pack on points. But yeah. Alrighty. Every single one of beautiful, handsome, amazing, awesome people who have joined me so far for this wonderful stream. I want to say thank you very much for all of your time and sticking around chatting with me a little bit. It has been a wonderful, amazing experience. And well, quite frankly, it's almost 8 o'clock. It's time for me to, I don't know, do normal people shit, or adult shit, I guess. But thank you all so much for watching, enjoying, following if you did, or shit, even just sitting here and watching, lurking in the channel helps. Thank you very, very much. With all of that said, thank you, Nico, for the follow. With that being said, this is the end of the stream. I will no longer keep you here to watch me play terrible Rocket League. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.